Let's actually talk about people moving from company to company. a lot of talent reported going to Impact. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, Dave Meltzer actually confirmed they signed their deals on Monday to go to Impact, but they're free to go to New Japan. It's in their contract. But then they've been spotted this week with some youthly gentlemen of some sort, some young bucks, you might say.
Yeah, some very young bucks I saw there, which is interesting because, like, again, so Fighter Fest at night 2 was pre-recorded. It's taped. It's already it's probably in the can by tomorrow. Good to go. Will air on Wednesday. Mr. Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson showing up and being in a picture with the Young Bucks is interesting, especially after that news as well. I wonder if the signing's a swerve, because we haven't seen anything from Impact confirming the signing.
Yeah.
And technically,
it's a good source.
The only thing I will say is that they can't sign, so it could be wrong. And the reason why I'll say they can't sign is because they're still under no compete. So that signing, not legit, if you ask me. Maybe a tentative agreement has been made, but they're still under their no compete until I think the 10th of July.
You're right.
So
they can't they sign? I mean, they're
not. If they sign,
they can't appear before the 10th.
No, they can't put pen to paper as part of the no compete.
Oh, can? Is that?
No, you're not allowed to put pen to paper until that no compete's over.
I'm gonna take your word for that. But let's say it's not a swerve, and they're actually planning to sign in that case. But they can't appear on Fighter Fest. They have the non-compete.
You're right, they can't. Now I don't know if I don't know if the non-compete's the 10th, but maybe it's the set. You know what? Maybe.
Impact is really cool about letting people work other places right now. Like, people can work the ROH and stuff like that. But I don't think AEW has the same attitude about them as I think, at least in North America, they want to be a little bit more exclusive with their talent. Although they're building the relationship with ROH, so maybe they are cool with Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson like floating around.
So I've double checked it, and they are free to work with other major promotions on the 15th of July.
Okay.
So that's when their non-compete technically will end. Now, you talked about working with other promotions because Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows were saying that they do want to go to New Japan. I think that's been quite a well-known aspect of what they wanted to do. The guys have shown up on Tonga's Island podcast, Tama's Island, talking about the old school Bullet Club days and whatnot. There's apparently a white hot podcast and talking shop coming up soon where Carl and Gallows are going to talk about their experiences in WWE, as well as go through technically the Saudi stuff. Apparently he's going to talk about that there. So we have a lot of information coming our way soon in relation to that. I wonder, do you think Impact is open to the idea of working with AEW? I don't know if...
I mean, that's kind of what I said 5 minutes ago.
No, but I'm gonna... you say that, right? I don't know if they are, because they didn't want Brian Cage on the Double or Nothing show or anything prior to...
Yeah, but that was because he was their world champion about to lose in a pre-show match.
Right. Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
Because he was at the show. They were kind of cool with him being there.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, the only reason I'm kind of skeptical on that there is because I don't think I think if AEW is going to work with another promotion inside North America, it's going to be Ring of Honor.
Yeah, that's kind of what I said a couple of minutes ago too. I think Impact is cool with it. I don't think AEW is cool with it.
It's because AEW have nothing to gain, Impact has loads to gain. That's not to sound an asshole, but let's be honest about this. One show's pulling in an average of 700,000 a week. The other one's on Access TV that pulls maybe about 100. Like, who's got more eyes on their product here? Who's benefiting more from this? Where I was gonna say where they benefit from the Ring of Honor relationship is that it's the inroads to New Japan, and Impact do not have good relationships with New Japan. I don't know if you're aware of why that's the case, but it's a pretty big reason why it's the case. Impact I think are still they're still in their New Japan's bad books over just a small unknown little jobber.
You've heard of him?
Maybe you've heard of him, of Kusuke Okada.
You gotta be a diehard fan to even have heard somebody mention him in passing.
Yeah, it's not like the guy has the longest running title reign of the IWGP Heavyweight Championship in the history of the promotion or anything. But
Star Machine.
Yeah, a man who has more 6-star matches under his belt than which is a ridiculous thing to say out loud, than anyone else in the industry. Only somewhat matched by Mr. Kenny Omega. But you also have the fact that they ousted New Japan from Access TV when New Japan said they weren't willing to work with them. So I think the relationship with New Japan is more important to AEW than the relationship with Impact is.
Yeah. Another couple of names been rumored going to Impact. Heath Slater put out a little touched up workout video, looking a little bit vicious. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that, but I have heard that there was.
And Rhino apparently has a tag team match coming up on Impact, but he's on Slammiversary. But he said he already has a partner and he got kids. So
I heard about that too. I heard about that promo as well.
So I don't think if Heath Slater can be a main event guy, but he's got good looks. He's got good charisma. He can move. I'm curious to see what he will do now that kind of the WWE restrictions have been lifted off of him.
I like your thought process here. I want to see his tenacity. I think you say he can't be a main event guy. I think let's test him. They said that about Cody.
I don't know if he can be. That's what I said.
Oh, my apologies.
I don't know yet.
My apologies. I think you know what? This is the parts of wrestling I love, is that we have the prospect of it. We have the ability to try and throw something against the wall and see what sticks. And I'm really keen to see how that goes. I'd be keen to see an angry Heath Slater. I would not even keen. I would love to see what an angry Heath Slater looks like. Like a post Nexus angry Heath Slater. Because we saw angry Heath Slater during Nexus, but. It was a group effort. It was a big faction. Your only real standouts in that big faction were realistically Wade Barrett, and I think there could be again. Maybe WWE were sleeping on something there, and they shouldn't have been.
Right. The other two guys in the 3MB with him, future world champions. Well, now past world champions or present world champions. But
yeah,
you get the point.
Yeah. Mr. Ginger and held the belt for, I think, was it 5 months until he lost it to
August until early November, and not August. May until early November, I believe.
So that's close to 6 months then, I would say, which is not a bad title run when you think about it. And then you have Drew McIntyre, who's the current WWE World Championship, which is a long time coming. The man's phenomenal. Man's phenomenal in the ring.
So yeah, let's throw Heath Slater into the hot water and see if he can swim, like you said.
Yeah, I'm keen for that there. We also had originally a person who was teased for Impact, but is no longer being teased for Impact. I think you were quite excited about this one.
Let's keep him for later. I've got another.
You got Saver. Okay.
Let's stay on Impact. Because reported yesterday night, Brian Myers, former known as Kurt Hawkins, apparently on his way to Impact.
I did not know that.
He's got a little. he has his old gear on, kind of. He got a new jacket, and he got a little writing on his jacket. Never defeated, it says. Because if you remember famous losing streak in WWE, I think it was around 250 matches that he lost in a row. And that's kind of is he like tainted as the job guy now, or do you think he can have a fresh start in Impact?
I think he could have a fresh start. I feel like the reverse Goldberg is just a great comedy bit where I feel like if you give again. What Cody Rhodes taught us is that you can have a fresh lease on life once you leave the promotion. It's just about how you frame yourself and how your promotion handles you. And being confident enough to say, no, I don't want to do that. I don't like that. And being not being hypercritical or difficult, but just being confident in your abilities. And I feel that this could be new leases of life for these guys, and I think that's going to be a real telltale moment to have here. Is that we'll see how these guys fare outside of their WWE careers, and I could see him being again. If framed right, I could see him being a really great mid-carder. I don't know. He is what I would say. I don't know if I could see him in the main event. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But I think he'd be
Impact is going to be interesting in the next couple of weeks after Slammiversary. Looking forward to that. Another guy who's been teased, Eric Young, and apparently they ran a package of a Super Eric. Did you watch TNA when he was Super Eric?
I didn't. I sadly didn't, but I was aware that was a thing.
So Eric Young was like he was still kind of young, kind of green, and he was like a scaredy cat, especially after Team Canada split up, and he no longer had other guys to back him up, and so he kind of invented this Super Eric persona. When he put on the costume, he wasn't afraid anymore, and he could do stuff like he did the feats of strength in the ring. Like he put two guys in the Death Valley driver position on his shoulders and stuff like that. It was kind of more of a goofy character, and that's kind of a harsh contrast to later Eric Young. Before he left for WWE, he portrayed like this insane man, and he's got really, really good insane eyes if he puts them on. Like that's really scary. He played a scary, insane guy in WWE with Sanity.
I remember his Sanity run. That was a good when Sanity was on NXT. That was a good run. I remember that. Yeah. I remember really enjoying the Sanity stuff.
So, I'm kind of curious now. Do they really intend to bring him back as Super Eric? Maybe to distance himself from Sanity, because famously botched by WWE in the main roster.
Yeah, and you know what? There's actually a very loyal Impact wrestling fan base who will appreciate that. Like that'll pop some people. It's like I remember that and you'll have that initial pop.
I've got an idea. Like
yeah,
put a dark twist on it. He comes back as Super Eric to Impact, but he's still like the really scary, insane person. But like he got tormented over the last couple of years, and mentally he just can't deal with that anymore, so he regressed back to a happier time when he was Super Eric. It could be a really interesting gimmick.
I suppose it was like a Jason Todd-esque style approach to it. It's like I used to be good, but then I got beaten and broken, and now I'm bad, but I still wear the costume.
Kind of.
I like that. We also, so you said, was there any other people that have been rumored for Impact out of curiosity?
Mike and Maria Kanellis, who shot a little bit on WWE on their podcast in recent times. Fired after giving birth, and they told her giving birth is fine. Well, having another child is fine. It wouldn't impact her. Being kicked out. Well, I weren't on TV that much, but Mike and Maria Kanellis are rumored to return to Impact, and maybe a guy called Miro. Have you heard of Miro?
Nero, as in like brother Nero, or
no, Miro, M-I-R-O.
Miro. Oh, Miro. Yes, a very strong Bulgarian man, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I'm married to kind of a fitness model on air personality who used to be Russian.
Yeah, I may have heard a thing or two about this Miro. I haven't seen Miro in a while in a capacity that I think would have been.
I mean, he's a kind of popular Twitch streamer. It's kind of nice to see him move into new ventures, trying out this wrestling thing. It's Rusev. We're talking about
We're
Rusev.
talking about Rusev. Yeah, I forgot about that. There, they did. This is the thing. They did tease him a few weeks ago with the Bulgarian flag. Because they were every other tease they'd done. Because they even teased EC3, and they used and Eric and all that jazz. And they were using a lot of the Impact footage they had because a lot of these people are returning, technically returning workers. So that footage makes sense. But for him, there was just a Bulgarian flag because he never wrestled for Impact before. So.
I mean, Miro kind of likes to be a tease on social media, so it's just rumors at this point.
Yeah, I think if ROH has not reached out to Miro, I think that's a big loss. I think he'd be a great fit for ROH and New Japan. I think Miro would. I think if Miro was given the opportunity, he could be the next Bruiser Brody in Japan. He could be. He's got that build. He's got that look. He's got that intensity. I think he could be a Bruiser Brody if given the opportunity. And I think ROH need to get on that. I think they need to grab him.
I want to see him back so badly. He's so good. And if he goes to Impact, I hope they contact this guy who reviews whiskey on YouTube. I don't know, some weird bloke. Apparently used to be called Aiden English. Don't know if you've heard of him.
Is he on? Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know he was on that platform. Okay. I wasn't sure what he was doing.
Legit, he has a YouTube channel reviewing whiskey on YouTube. I believe it's called Wrestling with Whiskey.
I'm going to have to check it out. I love whiskey. Yeah. And I love Aiden English.
I love Aiden English, and I love Aiden English with Rusev. And I think, especially in Impact, kind of on the sports entertaining side, that could work really well. It would pop a lot of fans.
Do you think they would do a Miro Day, though? I don't think we want that. I don't think I want that.
Dude, Rusev has already started Miro Day. I think they have T-shirts with it and stuff.
I don't know if I want to see that, though. I think I want to see him do... I want to see him evolve, and I don't want to see him rest on his laurels, because he's so good that he could get something else over. He could make something for himself.
It never went where the fans wanted it to go. I feel like it still has some power. You can run with it another couple of months, give the fans what they want, and then you can go to something new, or maybe limit it to Impact and let him do his cool stuff in other promotions, his single stuff.
Yeah, I just don't want him to be the Rusev Day guy. I want him to be more than that. And
of course.
I don't want him. I don't want to put him in a box, and I feel like that's the fear of putting him in the box.